Sonia knows that sometimes things on the other side like to tap on the barrier, kind of like a Ouija board. He would answer because she feels comfortable enough since she's done something similar before.
So I don't really want to ruin. I don't like, because honestly, if she made it herself, that's it's already sentimental enough. So after fixing it, I want to like Quinn would like kind of like add like small like little gold trim to some of it to kind of accent it and bring out a lot of the colors to it. And add like a sheer like trail to it almost. Not really long, but something that just feeds off the fabric that's already there, like, you know what I mean, to give it a little bit more of a princess dress style, you know what I mean?
So as I see all of the trim and lace kind of falling on the dress, I think that my magic would be mostly trying to, like, I don't want to say revamp the fabric, but like bring any of it like back to life and fix any of those little quirks that she may have nicked in the fabric along the way, as well as adding like any little bits of glitter like along the sleeves that would just make it obvious like a little bit more.
Yes, glitter.
And then I would hope that the dress would just be like almost like a dry clean, like repoofed kind of, fresh off the mannequin, clean.
Subtle mending magic. You've seen Professor Leomund wave their wands and do a lot of powerful magic with it. It is a very powerful circle of magic. But what you two have done in this little dormitory is its own sort of magic. As tendrils of white and gold, air and like shimmering light come out of your wands. A couple of both of you have your wands just change form for a second, and you can see it like feel whole in your hand, like coming together of sorts, as the magic surrounds the dress, even turns it in like a 360 spin, and as it does, transforms in the way you have both described. And as it spins, you see Ivy's face immediately go from worry to just, you've changed it. This looks amazing. And she immediately like says, hold on, and it kind of like angles you out of the curtain to like close it really quick. And you hear like shuffling, moving around desks, like her like a quick like oh, as she like hits her knee on the edge of her bed, and she's like okay, and then just hear like a zipper go up and the curtain pull back, and you see her in the dress, and she still has like the shirt that she was wearing before underneath, but she is completely overjoyed. Just you fixed it. It looks, it's so
you look so amazing. You look beautiful. So 12, please.
And she just does a quick turn. This is perfect.
Loving
this is
it.
So perfect. Okay. And then she like goes into her cupboard, like her little nightstand, and pulls out. Amelia, you would recognize this. It looks like a flash camera you can buy at a drugstore that she has. She's like, can you take this one with me? I have to send this to my mom. I would say this would be extra help.
She would tentatively like kind of touch the spot herself, and she'll like, well, how can I help you now? The Night Phoenix will be deathly hard to fight on our own, and it looks like you've been running ragged since I let you out a few months ago.
Do that one more time for me, sorry.
She would say, like touch the back of her neck, and she'd be like, oh, well, I'm glad I could help you this time, but what do you want me to do? We can't fight the Night Phoenix. She's too
don't
powerful.
worry. I just need to hide. This is above your skill level, but I need to hide. I've been hiding. Well, she's not the type to leave her post. She's a high-ranking demoness. She won't leave the demonic realm to find me. She sends her little things. But granted, they are dumb, and we are not. So I've hidden in things that they are not really going to look. The crevices between bricks, the realms and worlds that exist between pages. You ever wonder in this room how many worlds exist between the papers itself that are glued together? They don't know how to look through that. And as you all kind of step through, the blue glimmering light kind of surrounds you in this little warmth, and the temperature changes. And all of you see a winding staircase that goes down into this, what looks to be like an arena of the island. You see beautiful trees, the trunks of which are thick and as large as the castle. You see what looks to be the balcony of where the dances are happening, a distant spire where music is playing from, lanterns of golden light hanging from the trees, and in the far distance, a castle that looks like 𝘀🐐, but of another parallel world, or maybe it isn't 𝘀🐐, it just looks like a grand castle and beautiful sunlight going down into a sunset. There are enchanted lights and curtains and beautiful things sweeping down the railings of this winding staircase. The trees, the large boughs and branches of trees have balconies at the top, and you see a couple students have already gone there, found their couch, and that's where they're going to settle. Even from here, you can hear the grand music playing. There's a couple songs that you see, a couple students standing in line to get a song request in. You see a photo booth. You also see a fountain where people are, dancing around. There are a couple of different areas where more formal dances are, and a couple other a little spot where the music is a little bit more dancey and fun, and you see students coming together and just putting hands together to dance. There are waiters around handing out little drinks. As you're coming down these winding stairs, and the air of this world kind of opening up to you, you see Professor Aylmar Onyx dressed up to the finest, of course. Nothing but the finest. And you also see what looks to be this being of pure starlight. It looks that they are dressed, but they have no clothes on. They're just this humanoid form and femme presenting, and they're bickering to each other. They're just talking about something, and as you're passing through, you hear little snippets of I haven't traveled almost 46 light years for you to wear something else, okay? I picked that out myself, and I wanted you to wear it. It's a little tight, dear. I don't care what your other partners think of it. I just wanted to wear the one I was comfortable in. And Professor Onyx's voice is talking, and from, I feel like, who was sitting closest to Professor Onyx that one time when he was wanted biscuits?
Oh, I think it was me and someone else. It was because we were both talking. We're like, it was me and Amelia because we were both trying to sneak out at the same time.
Yeah.
Who has the highest brains out of you both?
Mine is 12.
Mine's a 20.
Oh.
Amelia, you clock immediately. This is the wife that he has talked about. The wife that has been, you know, far away, living as an astral being in the astral plane, and has ascended to a form away from their mortal shape. I do have a picture of them, but hopefully I can get this really quickly. But tell me what you guys think about entering into this space while I find her.
Oh my god.
So beautiful.
It's stunning. Watch your step. Watch your step. That stair looks a little loose on that one. I'd be careful going down right there.
So amazing. It's like out of a storybook.
Ah, look at the lights. Trees, they're beautiful.
Words that immediately come to Cora's mind. She's just sitting there at the railing, just staring, really, and just in absolute awe. Everything that they're seeing and experiencing around them.
I see you like just looking out and just a big goofy grin.
Does
This
anybody
is
know how to
what
dance?
I imagine 𝘀🐪 to look like. You don't know her name, but this is the shape that they have, like the almost covered in starlight. But they're you know, we're standing next to Professor Onyx. They're actually curvy just like him, and you can see just like as they're sweeping around, little sparkles of light kind of flickering down. There are a couple of teachers who are there. Professor Blackwood is there, but today he is seated up a little bit more. You can see him like dancing in his chair, just like moving around, and he's dancing with Professor Seraphina, and she has sweeping robes of like gold and shimmering black and like a ombre at the ends, and her red hair is kind of tied up in like little buns, like and wrapped around in a larger bun, just like really decorated. And there you see her just like dancing, and Professor Blackwood like just sitting from his chair and dancing with her. And for Quinn, this is easy noticeable, like because he's lifting his arms up, you see that little like that second head again. And the familiar, like one's awake and the other head is sleeping. And there are other teachers doing their thing. You see Professor Arabelle like has smoothed his hair and cleaned his clothes. Usually it's tattered. It looks like he bought something and had kept the tags kind of feel. Even his alligator familiar is like clean, no spot of mud on this albino alligator. And she just like, you hear the like little plops of her feet as like they walk, as he's like patrolling, as if we need patrolling. And the band playing like beautiful music.
The first time I've seen them look like they can have fun. You know what? I love that. Get to see them at least. Hopefully, we get to see some embarrassing situations. Because who doesn't love when people can't dance and you just have to dance along with them? I love for those moments. Honestly,
So it's funny when it doesn't happen to you.
I want it to happen to me. I hope it happens. All the best flash mobs start, I'm sure.
Not flash mob.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So what are we gonna do first?
The photo booth, obviously.
Yes.
Food.
Food is also a good idea.
And punch. I think that sounds good now. I actually think I'll meet you guys at the photo booth. Would anybody else like punch or like to go with me to get some?
Yes, yes, yes.
And snacks. We can look for snacks too, Cora.
Well, photo booth for me.
Down to go to the photo booth.
I don't know about Cora, but Amelia would just like quickly go grab like a couple of like glasses and help Cora pour a couple of glasses of punch before like heading to the photo booth. But she would definitely try to grab a glass for Odette, Quinn, and Rania as well.
Cora is over at the table with her, obviously getting the punch. That she's setting down the glasses of punch and kind of furrowing her eyebrows at the table, realizing that she didn't actually bring a purse or anything to hide snacks in. She doesn't have pockets in this dress. There's nowhere to put anything. If you don't see it, she doesn't have it. And she's like,
oh. See the internal panic and just, it's okay, Cora, I have a pocket here. And she would just take it and like fold it in like a cute little napkin and like just tuck it in her little dress pocket. It's okay, no panic. We have snacks the rest of the night now.
The visual sigh of relief as she begins to help Odette or Amelia fill her pockets with an assortment of whatever's on the table, and she'd go back and pick up the glasses that she had put down in order to grab snacks and kind of hold them up and gesture towards the photo booth.
I'm right behind you.
Once again, she would take the lead and start marching towards the photo booth.
As they were walking over, Amelia would just kind of be, you know, in Princess Diaries, whenever Mia's like showing her how she dances, she does a little head bob with snapping her fingers. That is definitely how Amelia dances, and is how she goes like behind Cora, just like very like uncoordinated and kind of like dorky looking. She's living her best life, just like dancing to the tunes.
Cora would not notice any of this. Absolutely oblivious.
Nice of you ladies to show up. Thank you for the drink. Quinn's gonna reach for the drink that the punch.
Cora would reach up and meet Quinn's hand and shove a glass of punch into it.
Are you ready to make history in this photo booth, ladies? Because they might have to shut it down after we leave.
Why?
Because we're gonna break it with how much beauty we're gonna be imbuing on this. It's gonna be too fabulous for this thing to hold.
Full for one machine to hold.
Yeah.
Hey,
Might as well do it while it works.
Everybody squeeze in. It doesn't look like a big photo booth.
How would we sit in there?
or
I mean, obviously the way the
somebody's
picture.
I imagine it's just like a big open standing one. So like
Mhm.
there's just like a cloth backdrop and we can just stand in front of it so that we can all try to fit a little bit better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So maybe less of a photo booth and more of like a photo station with like a photographer with the backdrop
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
this makes sense.
Yeah.
Siri, shut up.
So
She's
you
like,
said
"That's what-"
hello? I'm
She's
ready
like,
to
that's what I
date."
figured. I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so you're anything.
She's like, that's what I figured. Like, no, you didn't. You should have.
You know what? Stop.
Why are you in this
What?
conversation? I need you to leave.
And then I imagine as we're like going to take it, Core's just like not quite tall enough to be in the frame. They have to like adjust the camera down and we all kind of just like slightly scrunch over.
I imagine us like Loki, like sitting on, like almost sitting on the floor. It's just like, no, we're not gonna, no, because we're not picking her up again, obviously. We don't look.
Yeah, I can see like a potential. You guys think about it for like a fraction of a second, and then she just kind of shoots you a look like, no,
I said no.
like you.
I also
do
imagine
promise.
us looking around for a little like thing that we could put on that you could stand on too, so you could
Yeah.
still
A little
feel through your dress.
crane. Love that.
That she could actually look like a tall person for once in her life.
You mean she's taller than me? What are you talking about?
She's so tall.
He's so tall.
I imagine that the photo clicks, and after it clicks, the like haze of like that like being in the moment kind of sets in for all of us, and like the room is just kind of like sparkly and like very like ethereal and full of like magic.
Yeah, like kind of hazy, almost.
Yeah. And you just kind of like faintly hear the music in the background.
You feel like you're floating.
Yeah. Dang, to feel that high with your friends again.
I mean,
Oh my god,
right?
stop! I'll cry right now.
Don't cry right now, because I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, nobody's crying because if one of us starts crying, everybody starts crying.
Like I love it. Almost sounds like a threat. I'll start crying, and you know I'll start crying. I'll do it right now.
Now that we've taken our picture, I guess it's the dance floor. And also doing some very aggressive bad dance moves.
I
You know exactly the dance
would
moves I do.
love to highlight everyone's specific things that you do. So just to get this, as Amelia's like pulling away to like the dance floor, and everyone's kind of, you know, when you're at like a the dance floor, you see the group and everyone's here, and you see Amelia going in. Who would immediately like kind of follow her, either doing the same dances or just like, oh, yeah, let's go.
That's not how it's happening. Amelia does a very poor moonwalk backwards onto the dance floor, and she gets on the dance floor. She does a little 70s disco point. You know what I'm talking about? She does one of those,
Yes.
and she immediately goes into a rope. And she swings the rope, and she laughs.
Did Tamsin teach her how to dance?
She did what?
Did Tamsin teach you how to dance?
Oh no, they're very crude and bad dance moves. This is just what she
So Tamsin's
imagines.
a good
you know, like,
dancer, and
movies and stuff.
This is, yeah, got it.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel like she's watched like
very
90.
bad. Yeah, that's exactly. It's just like very poor 90s dance moves. Exactly.
Yeah.
Screaming her face. She is disco pointing. She is peace signing across her eyes. and she's just lassoing the dance floor.
Who are you last one?
You.
Oh, I was like, I
Who would
didn't
be
hear what she said. Wait,
going,
didn't she?
with Amelia, like the first person? Just
Okay.
like either reluctantly or just you just feel the pull of the dance floor.
Oh no, I'm giving into it completely.
The music kind of swirling around. Who would be in the last of the group?
Happily, because she's walking with Dominic to walk on there.
Dominic kind of like holds you like a little closer and kind of does a little spin again, but this time it's a little smoother. And when you're kind of spinning around, you get a scan of the audience or the participants, the invitees, and you see school members, staff, you see partners that you don't know. A couple of parents have like come back. A couple of visiting teachers. There's 𝘀𝐿𝘆𝘆, like a couple of teachers that you see the emblem that was blazoned across the Weevil field. But the teacher isn't familiar, but seeing the 𝘀𝐿𝘆𝘆 one, you're like, that must be a teacher from there. And as you're like spinning around and he's talking to you, Dominic just like whispers closer, just like, there's a lot of people here. I didn't think it was going to be this much.
I mean, but it's everyone.
Yeah, I thought when they said there was a ball, it was just like a school ball, but there's even, and he like points to the corner and you see people from the tavern down at the village. You see a couple of these like smaller figures. They look like fairies, but like they have like very bedazzled biker jackets. And you see a couple, different figures that you might have seen on the streets of the village. As he is like, kind of pulling you to, like I imagine you're around this dance floor to kind of find a good spot to go in as he's like trying to get the courage. You can see him like get the courage to kind of have you dance. Roll me a fight.
Okay, I'll do that.
With a 7, both of you hear a little muttering. There's a couple of figures in the corner, just like whispering to themselves. But since you're kind of walking around the edge of the dance floor, you kind of get close enough to hear just, no, the time's not right. We're not even close to the end. There's definitely one more that I can't figure out. I don't know what the seal needs, but the next alignment is at the end of the year. If the ritual is not complete, it will be lost and we would have to wait another year. Dominic kind of like, what? And like looks at you like,
Uda is just gonna look at him and like just the tiniest head shake no. Like, don't look at them. Don't look at them.
The figures are kind of like huddled together a little bit more, and they're trying to like quietly say stuff, but Dominic kind of like pulls and says like, you know what they're talking about?
I'll tell you later.
Did Odette want to do anything?
What do you mean?
sneak in closer or charm somebody to like eavesdrop or tie somebody's shoelaces together.
Oh God. Dip me real low.
Dominic's like, okay.
Just head hits floor. God, I don't know. I would almost say she would like take a little bit of the lead with dancing, just to dance closer to see if she could hear more.
Then what check do you? I think that would be charm, but what do you think this would be?
That's what I figured it was, since
you're trying
dancing is like charming kind of thing. And she's also like taking the lead, so it's like switching roles while dancing.
Dominic kind of like fits in really quickly.
A D20, don't hurt me. That's what you did. I got a 5.
He like steps in, but like almost kind of stumbles to your feet. You kind of turn in like a wide turn. He's like, oh wait, no, and he's trying to grab. Oh wait, no, and pretending to also not fall makes it easier to fall. And you kind of stumble to the ground. The people who were like, you know, around you kind of like, exclaim out like, oh, are you okay? Like, are you? And the sound from that, you know, makes whatever figures were talking that you just heard kind of like walk further away before they're saying like, shh, like just curse under their breath. However, the little stumble has brought like Dominic, who, a little closer to your face and just has a look on his face as he thinks this is the perfect time to actually kiss you.
Oh. Why am I actually embarrassed? What's happening right now? Why am I feeling tiny children emotions? I'm married. What's happening?
I'm getting a secondhand embarrassment for you.
Is gonna be super flustered about it, but is not gonna fight it.
He takes that like moment to just give a quick kiss, and being, you know, young, he has that moment of just like, I'm so sorry, and then like pulls you up and just he's trying to explain it, but immediately he's like, let's just keep dancing, and like helps you up and finds this like gap that was created from your fall to take the lead and have you start dancing with him.
She's, before they start dancing, is gonna do like a little hop to like flare the dress back out. And then go right into it. She does not care that she fell. It does not bother her one bit. Dancing was a thing that she used to do with her dad. Like, this is not something that she gonna be upset about.
The music like you know, gets louder, and you two are just spinning around and dancing. I'm not gonna make you roll for this. You know, no matter what the check is, it's not really about skill. It's just what if there was a stumble, you kind of laugh it through, and if it was good, you both like, oh, that was good. You know, like that kind of face, and you just keep moving around and spinning. His hair is kind of swept back, and it comes undone a little bit. And every time he like tucks it a little back, he kind of looks at you and just like a little blush comes onto his face, and he quickly just says, I'm glad that you said yes to come with me to the beach.
him to.
The camera like pans around you and sees like the beautiful dress kind of sweep around, and Dominic like trying to like maneuver with the dress, and it goes back to the Magic Ghoulies dancing together. I would like Cora or Quinn, no, sorry, Quinn or Amelia to give me like a brains check.
Sure, I can do that. I can do that.
I also did.
Oh, okay. Well, if you did it, I'll let you do it. It's fine. I'll
Oh,
take
no,
the 17. No, no, I'm definitely not gonna be the 17.
With the 17, there is a couple of things in this room that, you know, you're dancing to, you're noticing, and, you know, you see a lot of the older students, and from there is a masked student. You like they you don't know, but they look a little bit older, but they have like a mask on, and they come up to you and seeing you, you know, do your dance moves. They reach out with like a gloved hand, and you see a little bit of like their skin kind of showing from their suit sleeve, and say, can I have this dance? Their voice is like eerie, a little otherworldly quality.
I didn't even notice the voice. I think that because of everything going on and like the time that she's having with her friends, that she would just like go with it and be like, absolutely, let's dance.
They you know, join with you, like with the rest of the groups that are dancing, or the friend groups that are dancing together. When you grasp their hand to like lead, it is cold. They like pull you a little bit in, and you're like, the music kind of picks up, and they're trying to catch up with you. They're like, your dress is standing, and you know, they tried to like do like the moves or whatever it is, any coordinated that they need to do. They're doing it very skillfully. I will have you roll a charm check or a flight check if you are not interested in this dance anymore.
I'm very interested in the dance. Do I recognize who the student is?
You can give me a brains. You recognize like the hair that they have, the combed back hair that's making it hard to really place it. But there's like a cowlick that like pops out, and this is a second year student that is pretty tall for their age, and you don't know their name, but they've seen you in the hallways. They've like kind of glanced at you. They haven't really made any indication or anything. And a couple of the people around have decided to like come with masks or something cool to make like a little masquerade group. And you're not sure what their name is, but they are a student. They are like a second year, and you can recognize them again if like you can find that like tall person with that cowlick on. And even from like, you know, small little friend groups, what you think is this person, like you're like, this has to be it, like your mind is like, this has to be him. He is actually the guardian, the one who guards the goalposts of the Weevil team. You're not 100% sure, but you're pretty sure.
I'm like You sure?
Mhm.
Like, pretty sure.
Yeah, your mind is just like, I'm pretty sure.
Amelia's gonna be like not like in tune at all to anything, like any interest like going on or anything like that. She's just like not like aware of it, and she's just gonna be so confused by the mask. She's just gonna be like, was this the masquerade? Were we supposed to wear masks?
Oh,
None of my friends wore masks.
the team wanted to wear a mask because we won and we thought we could, I don't know, come together. I'm supposed to be like the Dark Knight, and they're supposed to be they have all like these cool names that we decided to do together.
It is really cool. Yeah, she's just like super into just like dancing. She's just super there.
A little music plays for you and this mysterious figure, and while you're dancing, I just want to make sure everyone else, like, just imagine you two dancing. We'll come back to y'all. Laura, Quinn, what are you two doing?
I'd say that Cora is having fun. She'd probably be dancing with Quinn because it would be just them two there at that point in time. And it's like, all right, well, we'll go hang out. We have our own party right here.
Very much so. Yep. And Cora is loving every single second of it. Just, you know, dancing her little awkward dance, and then occasionally adding a little twirl in there as Quinn would twirl or something, and then like holding hands and like, you know, swaying back and forth a little bit.
Adorable. I wouldn't, and you wouldn't be. I wouldn't be picking you up. I would. Quinn would have made sure that she was face to face with you. She would wore these pants for a reason.
Good, because Quinn promised, and Cora's gonna make sure that Quinn lives up to said promise. But yeah, no, they'd be having plenty of fun dancing with both feet planted firmly on the ground.
This is Joy, coming to you.
Both feet planted. Indeed.
Well, you are both dancing. The lanterns kind of lower up and down. Laura, what is your flight at again?
That'd be a hot 20.
Ooh. Nice.
Cora, you have seen this like floating chandelier that's like, you know, going up and down with the sway of the music. It looks like it was meant to do that with like the lanterns. And as it's coming up and down, you see it's like the light illuminates the floor for a sec, and you see like the tiles have beautiful scroll work. And it may be the fact that you had like a midterm like just earlier, but you are seeing like glowing runes in the tile. Just like as the light comes down, the chandelier comes down, imagine it's like pulsing with magical energy, and as it goes back up, it like, you know, clouds and fades away, and it just like resonates with like magical energy. The chandelier is kind of descending dangerously close. Give me a flight check, please. And this is not a planned decision. I mean, it's a snap decision. It comes so close, almost, you know, enough for anybody else to like kind of almost get hit by it. But you swiftly move out the way, and in that movement, you kind of push, you know, a couple people away from it as well. the ruins, because the chandelier gets really close into to the ground, you see like a professor come and like wave, and just like it looks to be Professor Arabelle, who's, you know, patrolling for moments like this, like, Scorned, that almost got you. Sorry about this, Magic. And like waves their wand, and you see the chandelier like twist and turn, the ribbons of it like float up to the sky, and just lots of things to control all at once. It'll be fine. Are you all right? And like extends a hand out to like help you up.
I was a little shaken, but she just responded, yeah, okay.
Good. And you see him like look to the around and like wave a little wand, and you see like the tree boughs, like the bark and everything kind of like get a little bit stronger. You hear like a little shake in the balconies, kind of like as if it's tough wood kind of like holding together a little bit, and he's just like, and shakes himself off and like, okay, and kind of continues his patrol with his alligator just like behind him, and just, you know, little thumps. And he has his like hands behind his back. Before we continue, we're gonna do another quick break, just to do a little movement.
Just good.
Stretchy stretch.
Stretchy stretch. You too. Yeah. Because YouTube has ads and I don't like it.
I'm not paying $25 a month.
Everyone's dancing downstairs, and you can, maybe Vanya's foot starts moving. Everything like, you know, seems like you should be down there with your friends during this song. You can see from way far from the highest part of the tree all the way at the people below, even though they're so tiny, you can see your friends dancing around. You can see them like shuffling. You can see them like running up to the center. You can see like Cora's dress coming out. You know, they have like this big gown, and someone has like asked someone to dance, and you don't know who it is, but you want to ask questions. And the music is a little quieter up here. Not too far away. You can hear it. You can feel as if the tree's shaking a little bit to the music, and your heart's like anticipating, and then like a little quiet voice kind of like calls to you, like behind you.
So Rania, being that she's kind of slightly dancing from hearing her song, will like whip around to the voice, and she'll be like, either we make this quick, or we're gonna have to request this song again.
You first hear a giggle. It's nothing that you've heard before. It's not that voice of that demon that popped out of the circle. It's younger, but yet it sounds like it would be an adult. It sounds like it doesn't make sense, because this feels like a stranger's voice, as they like their face kind of shows out from behind like a tree branch, like, you know, leaves, and in front of you it looks like a student with features exactly like the person you saw in the village, one of the staff members. But added in, you see a little one eye, similar to, you know, one of the students, maybe their like hair or something that was added, their cloth was added to the potion too. So you see like one eye is like a faint green yellow and the other is brown and gold. They have half their hair is like shaven down, but the other half is long and like parted on one side. They have a cloak on. It looks like they threw on something very quickly, and they have the same tattoo, but because it was like a mixture of what happened for this shape, the tattoo's kind of broken apart on their neck, their chest. They walk forward up to you, and with a voice quickly says, "With the amount of times you've helped me so far, I don't know how many times how am I gonna repay you?" That little added flair to the end of the sentence instantly reminds you this is the demon talking, and this is their new form. They look to you and say, like, quickly, just, oh, sorry, let me introduce myself. Well, maybe I'm a new student here. That's what we'll say. I am, what could be a good name for me? What do you think Rania would say to this?
First of all, when she sees him, and after she realizes it's him, she'll be like, "Whoa. Well, I guess we could say that you're new here. Let's call you, what would be a good name for you? You seem mischievous enough.
Mischievous? You call me mischievous? Aren't you the one that found me in the restricted section?
Aren't you the one that found me in a circle in my house?
Well, you were calling out. I wanted to escape. I kinda was interested. You know? I have to pick up that call. He looks over the railing and just like smiles at the enormous amount of people that, like, everyone is there, and just there's so much life in this world, and of course I had to pick up. Nothing like where I'm from.
Of course. Sounds just like you. You know, Hunter kind of fits.
Hunter?
But it's not mischievous enough for me. What about Zayden?
Give me a charm roll.
Ooh, this is gonna be fun.
Roll again. You did explode. Oh, no, wait. 1d6, right?
It's a 5 plus
It's
1.
a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. With a 6, he doesn't immediately take to it. He kind of like... How do you say that again?
Zayden.
Zayden. That's much better. That is still much better than Mal. Of course, that is my name over there. We shouldn't utter it out loud too much. He kind of stumbles like a little bit as he's like getting still used to his form, and he stumbles also guys. He's repeating Zayden. I'll need a little bit more, maybe a couple of forms to make this complete. Maybe if I'm a student here, it'll be better disguised than, than they would, at least the Night Mother would think of. Well, then simply, since it's the 11th hour, would you like to dance with Zayden?
You got a deal.
He opens up to a smile, and it almost looks very sinister, like when he first looked at you, but in this form his smile can't stretch to ear, but before he was like this ember and flame, his face now can blush, and you can see blush like forming just and he holds out a hand and reaches for to get closer and starts dancing, granted as from his demonic form, his dance steps are not great, but he quickly finds the steps to it, and moves you in, it's like those two-handed dances, and starts to get closer as the music gets slower and slower, and he smiles at you for a second and asks a question close to your ear. So why were you creating little circles in the beginning of the summer?
Not tonight, Zayden. We are dancing. Maybe I'll tell you later.
Good. If I'm going to be part of this school, then we should do exactly that.
Maybe you could also teach me a little bit more about that realm you were talking about. A girl loves to learn.
Well, to start, at least for tonight, it is something I would call an extraordinary. Nothing like what you have happening here.
What do we have happening here exactly?
Oh. You have what looks to be a presence, a force that feels like pressure on the world. Tonight's a special moment, and he points to the stars where the constellations are moving, and he says you see that right there? In our realm, we would call it what would be the word? It's a word for possum or a small little creature, but when that one connects to this one to connect to this one, it's what would be the right word for this? When they're in alignment, when they're in how would you call this? And he takes a moment to think about it.
Are you referring to The synergy of the star?
Synergy. And yes, it's when things come together. Timing. This mortal realm has time attached to it. Astral realm expands, and the demonic realm is like stairs. There's levels. You either go up or you go down, and in the shadow realm, there's only, light, dark. There's only those extremes that, I would never go there myself. Seems a little stricter than the demonic realm. Here, there are right times and wrong times. And right there is a convergence. It's where the realms are thinnest. It's like hinges coming together, a door opening and closing.
You mentioned a convergence.
Yes.
Does this happen in all the realms or just a demonic plane? Because if that's the case, we have one upon us.
It doesn't happen the same. It's not like we are matched. It's like when something happens in a nearby house. You hear it. You feel it. If something shakes in that house, it tremors in ours. It doesn't mean much in our world. We don't have the same deals or the same creatures or beings. But walking in this room, in this world for the last couple of, hours, after being trapped in that realm between pages, it feels like there are how do I say this? Something feels like it's beating against a door, and it has a right to. It has a feel to it, like as if it's coming for something, for payment. Or I don't know. I imagine that's what the Night Phoenix would do when they finally find me, ready to, cash in on all the time that I spent outside of her control. Here it just feels like thick fog in someone's throat. It's this night just is the best time when everything is aligned just right. And if all the locks are open, then a door would open. And this night, when the stars align in this realm, it doesn't happen in the other realms like this. The door is thinner. Of course, we have the realms that you know of and you all study of. But there are realms out there that none of you really would ever walk into unless you were forced into, unless you have passed along, And those veils get thin too.
Hearing this, Rania absorbs all what he's saying, and hearing that he can kind of feel the convergence, she's like in shock, and she forgets herself, and she like grabs both his hands in hers, and she goes, "You have no idea
So you think you know
how much that information just helped me." And she like goes to run off to tell her friends, like, as she feels like she may have an answer to the crazy chaos of all these doors being opened.
but she's
As
not
everyone is
100%
dancing
sure.
together, and the night is kind of going into from
that's where
music
we'll
to
end for
music. There is like a little shake. What would be what would Rania bring certain things with her to this ball?
Because her mother thought of everything, Rania's dress also has pockets. So, of course, Rania has a book in her pocket, as well as her wand.
What book would it be?
Because it's supposed to be a fun day, she would bring like a fairy tale fiction novel in her pocket versus like a study book.
Oh, so it wouldn't be the book that the demon has? Would she
She
still
might bring both. Yeah, she would bring both. She would have one in each pocket because their pockets are huge.
which I love. I'm assuming this because this happened recently. It might be on her mind. You feel a little rattling, just like from that book. And Sid, who's not with you right now, he's guarding his treasures upstairs. Would have probably like notified you if like that he just noticed a book starting to rattle and you had left it, but this time since you have it with you, he's not here and you can feel it. Your dress is kind of shaking a little bit. The book pulses for a second, then another second, as if it's like a little buzzer, like like a little vibration on a phone.
So she would definitely pull it out of her pocket because it is not it's not abnormal for her to just, even while walking, to just pull a book out of any pocket or bag she has on her.
Mm-hmm.
And she opens it to see if everything is okay with her demon.
It's a short message. The letters kind of flit like between, like as it usually does, and it just says, "I'm feeling much better. Will you?"
Seeing that, she's excited.
The like that space in feeling excited, he answers like, when you have time in the 11th hour, come to one of the it was like it pretty much stops for a second and it repeats like, find somewhere secret and that he will find you.
He keeps that in mind and kind of waits to make sure the book isn't going to continue its message before she puts it back in her pocket, and notes like the kind of like the time using everything around her. So Rania would definitely dance with her friends on all their songs. So every time one of them will be like, "Oh, this is my jam," she would be on the dance floor with them.
Mm-hmm.
When it came time to her song, it would just also happen to be the 11th hour, because she is intent on listening to her song, but also wanting to help her friend. She goes into an area that's off the dance floor, kind of in the shadows. Again, not unusual for her. And she pulls out the book just in time for the 11th hour to hit.
You don't hear an answer for a moment. It takes probably a couple minutes. It feels like they're not listening. But they finally do. And they, when they do answer, they say, first, they say, what a unique world they have created for this event. I didn't know they would do this. Let me find you.
Sheesh. Oh my god, Tokyo, why are
Hamlet
you
is
in my
dancing.
brain?
Domlet is dancing. Amelia and a secret figure is dancing. When you see Professor Arabelle like help Cora up, and as you're looking to the crowd before you can, you know, if you wanted to do anything to talk to Cora before that happens, there is a glimmer, a reflection that, you know, like hits your eye for a second. As you like blink a little bit, it's the edge of a very large, and I'm talking about almost 3 meters tall, mirror at the like edge of the trees, and it's surrounded by like a little balcony. It's a little higher. You see a couple of steps to go to it, and there are little couches there. You can see that this is like one of many steps to the many balconies up in the high. Like if you imagine sequoias, taller, bigger, better cousins, these are like castle trees, and you can see it like go higher and higher. But this mirror is right at the, you know, like the base of more stairs. And as the light and lanterns are moving up with the music, you can see like it hits again at the eye, and you just see like hits you again.
Quinn's gonna kind of shake it out of her eye before she looks over to Cora. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay if I walk away real quick?"
Just nod slightly confused, but
I'll be right back, I promise.
Okay.
Okay. So she walks over to the area to walking towards the mirror.
As you approach the mirror, as you kind of walk, you know, up these stairs, the tree has like a little couple branches that kind of make it a little dim, and you see 2 sets of stairs that keep going up and railings, and you see the expansive little realm, whatever this space is, kind of open up. It's a little dim, but the closer and closer you get to the mirror, the music is getting a little farther. You feel a little pull, a strange pull. The surface shimmers, and it shows like a faint figure, like a picture on a rippling surface of water.
Quinn would kind of carefully try to get a closer look at it to try to make out what it is. What is it?
The shape doesn't clear like ripples do on water. It looks almost, as it keeps going, like, you know, shimmering. And you can even see the mirror kind of bend into like as you lean in, it looks like as it's parting away for you to look further. And a little voice kind of strums up and whispers really quietly. Oh, hello? 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 Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
are you stuck in there?
Hello? Hello? Not for long. Do you see what you seek?
Do I see what I seek?
Do you seek what you seek?
I, I am seeking something, but are you talking about that something?
Do you wish to know?
Yes.
Seek. Hide and seek. Seek the runes that bind. Where light and shadow intertwine.
Dang.
Hello? Hello? Do you seek? I seek?
Would Quinn have an idea what that means?
You could do a brains check to interpret it, or
Okay.
charm to talk to the spirit.
You know what? I'm gonna do charm just cause, this is the ball. We're gonna do this. Look at that. And it exploded.
Please,
A goddess.
Do I roll the +1 again too? Or
you
just,
rolled a 4 again.
Okay. Another 4. Let's go.
You rolled
just
the
gonna-
4 again.
I was like, if it's another 4, that's why.
The
10,
rules at my
so 10.
table is if you explode, you roll and roll until you don't. So that is a 10, right? Thank you for the math. Oh, I appreciate you. I'm about to count on my fingers. The music swells, and as it like slowly drifts down and quiet, even though you haven't taken a step further away, you see the ripples on the surface of the mirror kind of pull out, like as if it's like a little tidal wave. And it looks as if it's like almost slime kind of holding out to you, and then grabs you by the chest and pulls you straight in.
Okay. Is it like forcefully grabbing me?
It looks like if you fell into water, how
Okay.
like, water grips at you. It's not the
Okay.
spirit doing it. It's like the rippling mirror.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if it's like water, then that's fine. I thought it was like slime. I was like, okay, so just a slime. I'm thinking venom in my head for some reason, and I'm like, okay, not safe. Okay, but Quinn's gonna kind of like just go with it. I'm gonna go with it. It's the ball. We're gonna Twilight Ball. We're gonna just keep it going.
It looks like you walked into a room of, like shimmering, moving walls that like look like the ripples of the mirror. And at the far corner, there's this shape. It looks like it's fuzzy, like radio waves. And it says the same thing. Hello, hello, hello. Do you seek what you seek? You seek the runes that bind, where light and shadow intertwine?
Yes.
It is you. I have been repeating these words words and words I say, and time again, but I didn't know who would walk through the door.
Gwen slowly walks up to it, like being cautious, but yeah. So you've been here by yourself the whole time?
I've been here, I've been there, I've been everywhere. Time is near there. It's different here. All from there to the floor.
Is it like, how's it reacting to Quinn being there, really, at this moment? I mean,
It's not like rushing at you or doing anything. It's just like, oh, like if someone, like you went home to somebody and they're at the end of the hallway, like just talking to you, and they're coming closer, but they look like radio waves and buzzing, and they don't see a face or anything.
yes. Okay. Like a disembodied sound wave or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just like repeating and almost like rhymes, and you can see like their voice kind of like kind of breaking up, and they just continue talking like, I didn't know if anyone would come. Someone told me to repeat this over and over, and that someone would come. But time here is weird. It moves and bends. It breaks and it crumbs.
Who told you to say that? Who told you to stay here and say that?
A voice. Oh, a person. A worm. There's more realms than you know. There are ones in between pages, in between the dust that floats in the sunlight. There are realms that exist that only you can go into but never return, and only those who've lived long lives and had no plight and seen sunlight pass and move on to. And there was a voice, and it called to me and said to seek you. And I didn't know how long to wait. I waited. I thought maybe this was my fate.
Yeah. What does that mean for you now?
Crystal clear. My mind is clearing up. It's crystal clear. But don't fear. I have a message for you.
What's the message?
A message for you. He knew. He knew you'd find me. When there was 3, you'd find me.
It's 3.
He said,
Oh,
you
said-
needed me. He said to tell you. He's been trying to tell you. Seek the runes that bind, where light and shadow intertwine. And little me remembered for years, and waited, thinking and thinking. He said you'd come, so I waited, and I listened. I was good. I listened and I was good. So I waited. Here, it's like stars die and reborn. And out there, it's like stars still live.
guess you don't have to wait anymore then. But I don't know. I don't know who he is, but how did they know I would be here?
I don't know. They like reach forward and like this staticky vision, like it doesn't shape, and it's just like, it looks like what could be a hand, kind of. I don't know. He told me to wait. He said to hold your hand.
Quinn's gonna reach out.
The moment you touch this shape's hand, you see like rippling visions as your head kind of tilts back and the music kind of fills your ears, and the droplets of water in your eyes, and everything kind of pours down as you feel the warmth of Nati's embrace, desperately wanting to reach out for you. And as soon as that grip gets tight, there's a satisfaction, not yours, but his. Satisfaction in the fact that they've finally reached you.
Quinn's gonna gasp at as the vision leaves, and you just hear faintly she just says her brother, she's say, and she's gonna just literally just stand there in the moment, just slowly, her the tears in her eyes build up. She thinks about her brother, and in that moment, it gives her it gives her a sense of restfulness, and she just sits in it for a minute.
You feel a sweeping motion as if this creature is kind of pulling into you to a dance, a spin, and as your head's kind of tilted back, it pulls you into a deeper circle. As it spins around, the figure starts fixing itself, and a long tail, golden brown, large feet, almost as large as 𝘀𐌀𐌐𐌊, golden brown fur, a mane of rich red, and eyes that look like the colors of nebula and galaxies. It looks at you, and every single time it dances around you, you see little stardust falling off the pads of its feet, its paws, and it roars out, but it's not a cry, it's excitement. This creature of this space looks at you and quickly says, I have felt from this. I am to walk with you. I am named Asteras Majestus, a being of the celestial realm. But I tire of its expanding. It's growing. I want to just be tiny and small. And you see this large lion, like bigger than 𝘀𐌀𐌐𐌊, start running around you, and you see its big shape. It even like puts its large head around your arm and like helps you up to a straight position. And as it does that and keeps going around and around and around, it turns into this smaller and smaller cub.
Wynn's gonna look at it and it's just like in complete shock, and especially as it lands itself in her hands. She's like stunned for a second, and she just goes full Odette and just like embraces the heck out of this thing. Like, this thing. Just channeling all the Odette I can right now into this like embrace. This is you're amazing.
I only know of you.
You're gonna know a lot more people here super soon. You're gonna have a lot more people to hang out with than just me, but we're gonna hang out so much. You have no idea.
I know of you.
Yes.
But just a few. I grew.
Yes. You're amazing, and I can't wait for you to meet more of my friends.
It just runs out of your arms and starts like running at the entrance, but there's like this ripple effect and it can't come out, and it just like hits its head a little bit. It grew.
Yeah. Maybe you should just go in with me. And she's gonna pick them up and go to step through the portal.
Your name. I need a name.
Her name's Quinn. Yeah, Quinn. Very nice to meet you, Astros.
A new name.
A new name?
Astros is of a before. Of a realm I want to say goodbye. Astros is a name for before. I will say goodbye.
How about we call you Kiko? I like that. You look like a Kiko. Kiko, yeah, I like that. Quinn and Kiko, all the adventures we can have. It just sounds so good together.
Kiko. It's a name. My name.
Your name.
I know your name, my name. A new name. Kiko.
To new names. To new beginnings and new names.
Through? Door? Do we go through?
Yes, we go through. And Quinn's gonna step forward.
The rippling effect kind of feels like you're going through very heavy fabric, like a curtain that cannot pull apart. but it does. And the music fills your ears. And this, what looks to be this little lion cub, it has like shadings of red and gold. It looks like a griffin mixed with a sphinx with a lion. Maybe this is something in cryptozoology you could learn about. It clearly has celestial magic. But as you step down from the mirror, you don't hear the voice anymore. And the mirror is just a mirror. And your familiar kind of snuggles closer to you.
He's gonna snuggle it back like again, full of that big cheesing right now. I'm talking about grin. Grinch 5 heart beats 5 times. I can't talk. I'm trying to hold it in, but I don't want to, because I don't want to scream, because I will, but I don't want to get a fine. Okay. Yes. And she's gonna waste no time, but she's not gonna run, but she's definitely speed walking back over to her friends. Guys. I need you all here right now so you can see something.
Odette
She's
is gonna
going to
run
each person.
Yeah, Cora is bolted speed of light.
Heels clacking, running.
I think Amelia's still dancing.
That's fine. Amia is enamored. I love that.
No, can I stop dancing? You were gonna have me roll for it earlier. And so I'm still.
Yeah, give me a flight. Like you can see Quinn coming down, and you're dancing with this mysterious fake air. Give me a flight to see how quickly.
Post the picture of Quinn's familiar?
Yes.
Oh my god, please don't taunt me. Wait, where are you posting it? In chat?
Yeah, just in chat.
Okay.
Amelia, it's like you're like, oh my god, you say you just exclaimed and stumble over your address, and the person's like, oh my, oh, and then just you do escape, but in the I would say tripping over your own dress way.
Stop. I gotta pause my mic here in a second, to freak out just for a little bit.
I genuinely have tears in my eyes.
Same. I'm just this is. I wasn't expecting it, because I'm the whole nothing moment. I was wrapped up in that. I'm feeling it. Amazing. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Thank you both. I was I trust you to pick.
The music swells up, and all of you are kind of rejoined, and as you're both connecting with each other, and Kiko is clearly very nervous, and you all can hear just at least Quinn can hear them just repeating rhymes. New, all new, oh, it grew, numbers grew, and repeating over. Laura, you have someone who kind of taps your shoulder for it.
Cora would turn around and inspect who was tapping her.
It's Miles.
Hi.
Would you like to dance?
Cora begins looking around to side to side. I mean, he tapped her, but he couldn't possibly be talking to her, right?
You can dance.
Do it.
Do it.
Would
Do
like
it,
to
please
dance
do
with you. And he says it again, like very scared. And Odette, Amelia, anyone who's facing, you're in this group, but I would say Odette, you can roll a brains for me. But he just like looks at you, Cora, and just has like this very nervous hand out.
Four.
You don't know what's happening, but you see Dominic's face, who's like on the opposite side of Miles, and you see just Dominic like
God. The ultimate bro move.
just, and
Dude.
Miles just like
Oh, no.
looks and kind of like
Love it.
looks
I
back
love
at
it.
Cora, just like,
I also imagine Quinn and Odette like fingers grasped looking over with just the cheesiest grins.
Yes, like you gotta do it. Yes.
Cora's got major deer in headlight kind of moment, but she quickly looks back at her friends who are doing their little grins and they're gesturing for her to go, and she
That's the difference moment. Your moment.
Miles is like just nervously seeing all this and just like, oh, yeah.
You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing.
You just see his face kind of like frozen and shaking a little bit, and even Odette, you see Dominic just like come closer and just like, he might run.
very gently reach up and take his hand, swallowing all the fear, and doing the thing. We're doing the thing.
I'm crying.
Do the thing.
I'm
Yes,
actually
please
crying.
do the thing.
Please.
He takes your hand, and it's sweaty, unless he's nervous. It's easy. There's no charm, there's no perception you need to take. He has, if he was pacing somewhere, he has been pacing. He has been like, whatever he's been doing, it's shows. He's very stiff the way he's moving. It's clearly nerves, and he kind of like pulls you in close, and the music starts to like play, and it like surrounds you. Both other people are dancing, as well as like the night is winding down and softer music is kind of playing in the background, and the Magic Ghoulies in the back are watching. Cora, this since you saw Rania like at Demonology. A little bit of your perception for Rania is there. You see them run up the stairs really quickly away from you all. They've come to celebrate, and they just run really quickly away. And as you're kind of spinning with Miles, and Miles kind of knowing the steps that he was just quickly practicing, and he's just like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. As he's doing that, you're allowed to kind of like zone out, and you can see the trailing white dress kind of going off into the distance. Everyone's dancing downstairs, and you can maybe Vania's foot starts moving. Everything like seems like you should be down there with your friends during the song. You can see from way far from the highest part of the tree all the way at the people below, even though they're so tiny. You can see your friends dancing around. You can see them shuffling. You can see them like running up to the center. You can see like Cora's dress coming out. You know, they have like this big gown, and someone has like asked someone to dance, and you don't know who it is, but you want to ask questions. And the music is a little quieter up here. Not too far away. You can hear it. You can feel the, like, as if the tree's shaking a little bit to the music, and your heart's like anticipating, and then like a little quiet voice kind of like calls to you, like behind you.
So Rania, being that she's kind of lightly dancing from hearing her song, will like whip around to the voice, and she'll be like, either we make this quick, or we're gonna have to request the song again.
You first hear a giggle. And it's nothing that you've heard before. It's not that voice of that demon that popped out of the circle. It's younger, but yet it sounds like it would be an adult. It sounds like it doesn't make sense, because this feels like a stranger's voice, as they like their face kind of shows out from behind like a tree branch, like, you know, leaves, and in front of you it looks like a student with features exactly like the person you saw in the village, one of the staff members. But added in, you see a little one eye, similar to, you know, one of the students, maybe their like hair or something that was added, their cloth was added to the potion too. You see like one eye is like faint green yellow, and the other is brown and gold. They have half their hair is like shaven down, but the other half is long and like parted on one side. They have a cloak on. It looks like they threw on something very quickly, and they have the same tattoo, but because it was like a mixture of what happened for this shape, the tattoo's kind of broken apart on their neck, their chest. They walk forward up to you, and with the voice quickly says, with the amount of times you've helped me so far, I don't know how many times how am I gonna repay you? That little added layer to the end of the sentence instantly reminds you this is the demon talking, and this is their new form. They look to you and say, like, quickly, just, oh, sorry, let me introduce myself. Well, maybe I'm a new student here. That's what we'll say. I am, what could be a good name for me? What do you think Rania would say to this?
First of all, when she sees him, and after she realizes it's him, she'll be like, whoa. Well, I guess we could say that you're new here. Let's call you. What would be a good name for you? You seem mischievous enough.
Mischievous? You call me mischievous? Aren't you the one that found me in the restricted section?
Aren't you the one that found me in a circle in my house?
Well, you were calling out. I wanted to escape. I kinda was interested. You know? I have to pick up that call. He looks over the railing and just like smiles at the enormous amount of people that like everyone is there, and just there's so much life in this world, and of course I had to pick up. Nothing like where I'm from.
Of course. Sounds just like you. You know, Hunter kind of fits,
Hunter.
but it's not mischievous enough for me. What about Zayden?
Give me a charm roll.
Ooh, this is gonna be fun.
Roll again. You did explode. Oh, wait. 1d6, right?
It's a 5 plus
It's a
1.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. With a 6, he doesn't immediately take to it. He kind of like how do you say that again?
Zayden.
Zayden. That's much better. That is still much better than Mal. Of course, that is my name over there. We shouldn't utter it out loud too much. He kind of stumbles like a little bit as he's like getting still used to his form, and he stumbles also, guys. He's repeating Zayden. I'll need a little bit more, maybe a couple of forms to make this complete. Maybe if I'm a student here, it'll be better disguised than than they would, at least the Night Mother would think of. Well, then simply, since it's the 11th hour, would you like to dance with Zayden?
You got a deal.
He like opens up to a smile, and it almost looks very sinister, like when he first looked at you, like, but in this form his smile can't stretch to ear, but like before he was like this ember and flame. His face now can blush, and you can see blush like forming just and he holds out a hand and like reaches for like to get closer and starts dancing, granted as a like from his demonic form. His dance steps are not great, but he quickly finds the steps to it, and like moves you in, like it's like those two-handed dances, and like starts to like get closer as like the music gets slower and slower, and he smiles at you for a second, and like it asks a question close to your ear. So why were you creating little circles in the beginning of the summer?
Not tonight. They didn't. Maybe I'll tell you.
Good. I'm going to be part of this school then. We should do exactly that. And as the music kind of swells up, he even tries to go for a little dip, but it doesn't like fully do, so you can feel like he's much taller than you, so he's like trying to dip you. He's like, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. My mom said that would be cool.
It's okay.
Okay. What did you my mom said I could like twirl and pick you up around. She said I could even do a spin. Would you like to do that?
Or is so up in the fact that she's dancing with a boy, let alone a cute boy. So she's totally going to ignore the fact that he just suggested picking her up and just kind of nods super nervously and just continues dancing with him.
A waiter comes to you, Magic Ghoulies, with a couple of drinks and passes some around. A couple other students are like come and joyously like dance with you. You see Nolan pull you, Amelia, and do the dance that you knew, starting the little like disco move, and
my God.
even like kind of giggle to you, seeing Miles kind of dance with Cora. A couple of these students like give me a charm check, Amelia. Now that you have like a little would you grab a drink? Would you want a drink from the waiter?
Yes, I've been dancing a while.
Give me a charm check. The dance kind of goes around Cora, and you can see from his face he's been nervously asking, and he kind of like whispers really quick, like, I grabbed a couple of these, and pulls out two little like chocolate eclair kind of shapes, like very small. If you would like some. And stops him dancing, and like he's like, I'm really not good at dancing, so I thought you might like this better.
He takes a chocolate.
Oh, sorry, Miles did that too, Cora.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were still talking to me. That confused me. Yeah.
Nope. I just want to know the charm check.
All that just came out of my body. I'm okay. The nervousness struggles for a moment at seeing the snacks. She had been so wrapped up in everything that she was in a package. She could use a snack, and so she just kind of does grabbing at the eclair and holds it up and said, I was actually kind of hungry.
Oh, you can have both. I got them both for you. It's okay. I can get more.
She would not argue with him, and she would take both.
And he kind of like moves a little bit closer. It's that awkward dance kind of thing where you're in the corner and eating a little bit of food, but he feels a little bit calmer now that he's asked you and you're done dancing. Amelia, with the three, seeing that little cute moment, that little glee that you feel like Nolan even too kind of whispering like, oh my God, you like drop your drink on them. They're like, what are you doing? And they like I imagine like Amelia just like pointing at them, at Cora, Miles, and Nolan like not even caring that a drink was just spilled on them. When Odette watching this happen in the music, there is like the nighttime vision, like the light above you is pure starlight, there is constellations and stars. Is there anything that you want to see in this like changing landscape of this ball?
We would definitely want the stars
Oh,
to see all the
absolutely.
nebulas and everything.
Yeah.
There's like cascading like light red, blue, like nebulas in like a corner. It looks like, well, it hints to very powerful magic. Whatever this is, whatever this space is, however the teachers did this, or the headmistress did, or whoever did, whether this is another world or whatever it looks to be, the stars are familiar. The shapes are familiar. The stories you've, like some call them Little Dipper, some call it the pot, whatever it is, the shapes all seem right. It's beautiful blue, beautiful red. Even the moon, it looks like it's not your moon. It looks like wherever you are, there's two moons. One of them is a dark red and the other one is a little larger in the sky. The stars are right. The stars are the same. Give me a brains or flight check. And one of you should do this.
Are you doing it or am I doing it?
Which ones of us did you want to do it?
Either one.
I have 20 in flight and a 12 in brains. Said
You
brains,
can-
right?
Brains. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Which one do you want to do?
Do you want to do flight?
I can do flight. Yeah. I
You
get
could
plus
also
one.
cut it in half too. And then, since it's your D20.
Oh
Or
yeah,
did you
I have
say
a plus
D20?
one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a D20. So yeah, let's just do that and add the plus one to it.
That is. Sorry.
Oh, it should be
didn't load.
11.
It didn't load for me. What was it again? I'm so sorry.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
D20.
Yeah.
And then the plus one, so 11.
11.
The a couple things have happened at the ball that all of you have like privy to. The couple couples that were fighting. Of course, there was like a clique that was being too ridiculous and cliquey. You've heard rumors and things throughout your night. Whatever is true or not, you can like roll and I can share with you, in the chat what you could have heard. This is for everyone. If you roll a brains, then I can tell you like what things you've heard during the night for next time. But the rest of you, sorry, not the rest of you, Quinn, you see the stars dancing upon and like reflecting on this night, and Kiko kind of nuzzling into your neck. The constellations above. They're dazzling, but they're not in a familiar. Well, their shape is familiar, but they're not in a familiar line. They are stars getting very close to each other. It looks like it's aligning together. Eco kind of crawls up and like kind of hears your kind of and listens to you for a second, just like, are you looking above? Above?
Yeah, those stars. They look. Doesn't it look like they're closer to each other? It's weird, isn't it? Like they're aligning or something. Could be just me.
It is the right time. Fine.
The right time for what?
You would not find Kiko, if the space between wasn't thin enough. Kiko was
Same.
trapped for a long time, and only when it is thin enough did Quinn find Kiko. Find Quinn.
Are you saying that for some reason this is merging the planes? Is that what is gonna happen when they align?
It's different in different realms, but it means all the same.
So they'll become one. Light makes the dark.
When light meets the dark, and they
Quinn's gonna.
they like look
Sorry,
up
go
in
ahead.
their face, just like when light meets the dark, and out comes a flame. It's where realms come to meet, and stars align. Into a line. There's a word, there's a phrase, a time, a space.
Ritual?
No. A word.
Everything?
The word.
Convergence.
It means the same. There are more realms than you know. Quinn, Kiko. One that you walk in and you don't return. Ones that go on and on. Kiko knows.
Okay, and Quinn's gonna immediately like turn to see her friends, and she's like, "This is gonna get us in trouble."
Trouble? Trouble for me? For Kiko?
No trouble for Kiko. You're gonna be fine. But it's gonna be.
Fine.
It's gonna get a
Kiko's
lot more
Quinn.
interesting.
And Kiko. Fine.
Yep. Kiko, Quinn. Quinn's Kiko. Can I turn and try to like pull? I want to pull Amelia and Rania to the side if I can, because I know that the others are like
Rania's
having their moment.
gone up like the stairs. Amelia's like with Nolan on the dance floor. The one who was next to you
okay.
was Odette.
Okay, so I thought I got it mixed up then. I thought Odette was on the dance floor. So yeah, so it would be Odette. Then I would go to Odette and let her know. So looks like something's big's gonna happen. And I don't know what timeline is, but she points to the star, the other thing. But when those two make a straight line, let's just say we're gonna have a lot more people to party with. And it doesn't sound very good.
Odette is just gonna frown and look up at it and just like kind of like disassociate as she looks up at it. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
At least we know something's going to happen.
But maybe, but we don't know if it's good or bad. And if it's anything like we figured out when we were in the laundry room, it could be a lot worse.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like mostly scary stuff has happened,
Yeah.
but we'll get through it. We have
I
each
think-
other.
You're right. Well, I don't want to ruin everyone else's night, but as soon
No,
as we
I-
can, we should
Yeah.
definitely.
Get everybody together and let them know. Thank you for telling me. She's gonna reach over to Quinn and like grab her hand and like just like squeeze it reassuringly. Whatever happens, we're in it together.
Quinn returns and grabs her, puts her other hand, and there's like together. I really wish we had a really cool handshake. This has been the perfect moment for it. It's been so good. Can we just like roll a charm check to see if we just come up one on the spot?
Oh my god. Um,
Is that okay?
Mhm.
Awesome. Totally.
Man, dice, you are failing.
10 together though. It's a 10 all together.
I'll take a mid tier.
I'll literally,
Yeah.
we're
Mid-tier
just kind of
handshake.
coming together. We're just on the spot, like, nope, that wasn't it. That was not it.
It's something, but it's not the
we're-
right one.
It's,
We'll
it's
keep
right. It's
working
like right there, but we'll get there. We'll get
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get there. Just the biggest, cheesiest grin.
there.
Toothiest grin.
As you have the toothiest grin and the handshake is slowly being formed and you feel a little bit more, secure in the embrace of each other. The festivities are starting to wind down around you. And you see Professor Sinister Harkness kind of take to the stage at the end. Her presence like commanding immediate attention. She is wearing sharp black that goes straight down and hugs her curves. Her hair is braids that are like long sweeping blue black braids and dark black lipstick, and you see all the tattoos, everything that she has. Her presence just needing no more introduction. And the crowd hears, her coming up to the stage and falls silent, and the flickering lanterns cast some like eerie shadows across her stern face. She raises her hand, and the enchanted orchestra cease playing, just leaving this hush in the room. Students of 𝘏𝑐ine Academy, she began. Her voice like has that gravity that there's this shiver. Tonight, beneath the pale light, we gather not only to celebrate, but to remember. The astral convergence approaches, a celestial event that occurs once in a millennium. A moment when the barriers between our world and the planes that we all know of grow thin. The powers of old awaken from their slumber. But I will keep this brief. and to keep you informed. This convergence marks a time of year. It happens 2 times a year, every year. But it has been hundreds of years since the times of our founders, when a great peril used to threaten our doors. And this peril stirs. All of you have heard of what has been happening in the shadows. The events of the past week have not blinded us as your leaders, as your representatives, as your teachers. We're not trying to put you in harm. We want you to understand we are taking this seriously. The signs are all around us. Whispers in the corridors, shifting shadows, the runes calling out to us in our magics. You, dear students, are not mere bystanders. The choices you make in the coming days will shape the destiny of our world. Stay vigilant, trusted your bonds, and remember, what is small and seemingly insignificant may hold the key to our salvation. Our dear ladies, our founder's twin, could only hold back this peril for too long. We ourselves don't know much about the stories. We hear enough of it, but we want to be clear. And you see Professor, your headmistress, running up just like this is too much. And you just see like a little chuckle, like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. This is fine. And Professor Harkness just like, they need to know. This is a time where the veil between worlds is thin. And lucky enough, if all the locks and gates and things on this world were open, then we would be met with a fate that you don't understand. You should tell them. And you see like the headmistress like, I know. Hi, everyone. This is a grand night, please. We are dealing with this. We want you to enjoy this night. We don't want to terrify you. Yes, there are signs in the air. Things seem like they're in motion. Nothing clear, nothing real. Sinistra, why? And the professor of demonology kind of like swishes her cloak and she pulls up her sleeves and she kind of looks to the crowd and said, because what if they're close and we don't know it? What if they're close? And you see murmurs around the crowd. Close. What's close? Who's close? What are you talking about close? A couple of the villagers kind of like look around to each other just like, we're going home. And you see them like kind of packing up their bags, ready to leave.
Immediately start tapping Odette, like, see, it's being weird.
I don't like this. We should get everyone together and leave. I don't want to be the one to ruin their fun, but I don't feel safe, and I don't feel safe leaving them out there.
I'm pretty sure we're not ruining their fun. They're doing a speech about the world ending. But I agree. That's fine then.
Okay. Do you want me to go get Amelia and you get Cora?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We need to get Ronnie as well.
Yep. Be safe.
Allegra Evercreech continues to like the crowd, and while they're doing that, you see like Miles just like, what? You just, what's going on? And Dominic just kind of reaching for it. He's like, is this what you're talking about, Odette?
She is gonna look at him sadly and like shake her head. Like just the smallest yes before she like grabs his hand and goes towards Amelia.
You, as you know, things are going on, Professor Evercreech just goes to the crowd and just, everyone, we are fine. We are fine. This is a hard time. Our divination, and you see like Professor Lilith Brackwell kind of like, she's not wrong, like kind of playing with their things, like, no, she's not wrong, Lilith, but we don't understand what's happening. We don't know the answers. If you have questions, we just know that there is a time, a story, that someone is supposed to return and get debt repaid. I don't know the song that the creatures of the deep sing, but it's just a song. It's just a song. It's not like there's. Our castle is just a castle. There's nothing hidden underneath it. There are no demons waiting for us, Sinister. Otherwise, you wouldn't be the teacher here. Everyone, it is fine. It is fine. Please. Please, Sinistra, say that you're just scared. And Professor Harkness just like looks up and just like, of course I'm scared. But I've seen what I've seen, and I wanted to make sure everybody knows. And I want them, and she like looks to the crowd of students, just like, I want them to know that we are not letting you stay ignorant. We will be going for break, and like Allegra is like saying that, like cuts in, she's like, yes, you will be going for break, and we'll be fine. Sassine is fine.
Maybe you could also teach me a little bit more. That really, the girl loves to learn.
Well, to start, at least for tonight, it is something I would call an extraordinary. Nothing like what you have happening here.
Do we have happening?
Oh. You have what looks to be a presence, a force that feels like pressure on the world. Tonight's a special moment, and he like points to the stars where like the constellations are moving, and he says like, You see that right there? In our realm, we would call it, what would be the word? It's like a word for possum or a small little creature. But when that one connects to this one to connect to this one, it's like, what would be the right word for this? When they're in alignment, when they're in, how would you call this? And he like takes a moment to think about it.
You getting to like the synergy of the stuff?
Synergy. And yes, it's when things come together. Timing. This mortal realm has time attached to it. Astral realm expands, and the demonic realm is like stairs. There's levels. You either go up or you go down, and in the shadow realm, there's only, light, dark. There's only those extremes that, I would never go there myself. Seems a little stricter than the demonic realm. Here, there are right times and wrong times. And right there is a convergence. It's where the realms are thinnest. It's like hinges coming together, a door opening and closing.
You mentioned a convergence.
Yes.
Does this happen in all the realms or just the demonic plane? Because if that's the case, we have one upon us.
It doesn't happen the same. It's not like we are matched. It's like when something happens in a nearby house. You hear it. You feel it. If something shakes in that house, it tremors in ours. It doesn't mean much in our world. We don't have the same deals or the same creatures or beings. But walking in this room, in this world for the last couple of, hours, after being trapped in that realm between pages, it feels like there are how do I say that? Something feels like it's beating against the door, and it has a right to. It has a feel to it, like as if it's coming for something, for payment. Or I don't know. I imagine that's what the Night Phoenix would do when they finally find me, ready to, cash in on all the time that I spent outside of her control. Here it just feels like thick fog in someone's throat. It's this night just is the best time when everything is aligned just right. And if all the locks are open, then a door would open. And this night, when the stars align in this realm, it doesn't happen in the other realms like this. The door is thinner. Of course, we have the realms that you know of and you all study of. But there are realms out there that none of you really would ever walk into unless you were forced into, unless you have passed along, And those veils get thin too.
Hearing this, Rania
absorbs all what he's saying, and hearing that he can kind of feel the convergence, she's like in shock, and she forgets herself, and she like grabs both his hands in hers, and she goes, "You have no idea how much that information just helped."